Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj from the bestemailmarketer.com, and today we have Scott with us. Scott, welcome to the podcast.
It's great. And I love the podcast title, Genius. It makes me feel important and a lot smarter than I actually am.
Come on, stop lying. You are very smart and you are a genius.
I'm a genius only because I get to hang out with you. So I appreciate the invitation.
Come on, no. You are the smart. You are the genius one. Okay. We both are genius.
Yes, there we go. I'll accept it.
Yeah. Okay, so for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what do you do?
Absolutely. So I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, born and raised over there. We were just talking offline about the weather. It gets very, very cold over there. I am very happy to be gone from Chicago. I'm now calling in from Fayetteville, North Carolina, where it's absolutely beautiful. I have a background in communications, in nonprofit management, doctorate in education, and I actually am a rabbi. And I'm in the United States Army right now as a chaplain, but I'm also very, very actively involved in community. And I'd say when people ask me the question of who am I, I'm a community activist. I'm very passionate about making a difference in community. And community can be defined in so many different ways: where you live, who you associate with, and so on. And so I'm a community leader.
That's great. Okay, so what inspired you to start Get Down to Business, and how
Yeah.
has podcasting impact your mission to help entrepreneurs and communities?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a great question. So, get down to business. Gosh, it's been a long journey. I think I've been hosting Get Down to Business for over 12 years. I think we're approaching 13 years. I really need to get the exact date so I could celebrate the anniversary. But the genesis, the story of it is in 2009, quite a while ago, in the midst of a tough economy then. I got very involved in the local community, as I was just saying a few minutes ago. I saw a lot of people that were out of work, a lot of small businesses that were struggling, a lot of individuals that were looking for employment. And I started putting together some lunches and some coffees to bring people together, which were very successful throughout the Midwest of the United States. We brought together many, many thousands of entrepreneurs, small business leaders. And it was amazing to see the connections that were formed between a realtor that needed a photographer that needed a lawyer needed an accountant, and all the dots that needed to connect. And from there, a lot of things started to happen. I started to write a lot of blog posts, and then I started hosting a show, Get Down to Business, which at the time was very weird for me because I was very used to doing things like this, like we're doing right now, of me being the guest. And somebody pitched me on the idea of hosting a show that would air on the local radio station in Chicago, and that I would be interviewing entrepreneurs and small business leaders. And I guess the rest is history because 12 plus years later, we've had thousands of guests on the air. I still record each and every week, no matter where I've been around the country, around the world, no matter what I'm involved in. I've hosted this, and it's always awesome to see people that have heard the show. We've had tens of thousands of listeners, both on radio and on podcasts. And I hope it's making a difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, can you share the greatest lesson you have learned from organizing communities networking event for Chicago's Jewish and business communities?
Yeah, absolutely. The number one lesson: learn something from everybody. Learn something from everybody. I've had a lot of cups of coffee with people, sitting down, getting to know people. Also, thank goodness, I'd say the only positive outcome of COVID and Corona was the increase of doing things like we're doing right now, being able to connect on video conferencing. And I've gotten to know so many amazing people. And the number one thing is really learn something from everybody. There's always a lesson, either in business or even just leadership, that you can take away from virtually every single conversation. And I think that that's something that I didn't appreciate as much. I'll be honest, I didn't appreciate. I grew up in a family business. My dad was in accounting, and I knew what networking was, but always thought that it's more about business. You have a service, I have a service, let's do business with each other. Now I have a whole new appreciation, even as I have come across people that are looking for jobs, looking for work, that they have so much to teach me. And there's so much that I have to grow and to learn. So networking has opened up my eyes. And now, in the many different hats that I wear right now, I have definitely been able to. Now I'm 36 years old, and I often come across young people that are half my age. And honestly, I'm learning so much from them, either physically, we were talking about running before, physically or mentally, academically, and the journey's just beginning.
So, for early stage entrepreneurs, what are the most overlooked habits or strategies for effective business networking?
Yeah. Resilience. You and I were also talking about this before. This is why I say that you are the genius, Atul, because you picked up on it. But resilience is very, very important. The idea of when things don't go your way, you don't just call it quits and say, that's it, I'm over it. The best entrepreneurs that I know are the ones that have failed, and they are open and transparent about their failures. They are willing to share where they have made mistakes. And the average successful entrepreneur or business owner that I know has had multiple businesses, many that have not succeeded. They have had great ideas, some which have not come to fruition. And maybe it's because of the stage that they were in at that moment. Maybe it's because they didn't surround themselves with people that were able to challenge their ideas. And so to connect the dots between the concepts that we just talked about, again, that idea of being resilient, being able to push through challenges, but also learn something from everybody. You and I are very different people. I have strengths in some areas, you have strengths in other areas, but I guarantee together with those strengths, we also have our weaknesses. I am very bad at a lot of things. And the key is to make sure you surround yourself as an early stage entrepreneur with people that can complement your skill set. I know many entrepreneurs that are very good at marketing and sales. They're very good at connecting with people, but they're really bad about accounting and doing their numbers, making sure that they're keeping track of the dollars and cents. So learn that, surround yourself. And that's very important. And be willing to push through and learn from that experience to get better for the future. That's very important.
By the way, I'm curious to know, like, how's podcasting impacted your life?
So phenomenally. I've been very consistent. My wife knows every Wednesday I'm recording shows. And it's interesting because I have met people I otherwise would have not had the opportunity to meet. And that's been huge for me. I'm a young man from originally from Chicago, now living in North Carolina. I tend to, on the average day, associate with people that I'm working with in whatever capacity. But because of podcasting, because of hosting Get Down to Business, I've connected with people from all over the world, people that I otherwise would have not have had the opportunity, authors, people that have written books, other podcast hosts like yourself. And honestly, it's been amazing to learn from people, connect with people. And I love to travel. Travel is my hobby. And so I have, I think it's 2 years ago now, I was in Thailand and I was able to connect with a bunch of people that I know. I've been in South Africa. I've been in New Zealand. I've been all over the place connecting with people that I only had a 15-minute conversation with previously, but we have that connection, that special connection that's there. So podcasting has been phenomenal. And no matter how busy I've gotten in life, I've always made sure to prioritize continuation of this and consistency to keep those connections. I'm pretty good with follow up. So if somebody reaches out to me, I always will follow up with them. I'd say that on the radio show all the time. I want people to reach out to me and I will respond to those emails. I promise I will.
Okay, so how do you balance your professional role, because you are consulting, hosting, and community building? And what systems or routine keep you productive?
Yeah, so I believe I use my calendar for almost everything. I know there's different types of people. There's people that are task oriented. My dad is one of them. Somebody tells him, "When can you follow up on this?" He'll make a list and I'll write it down on the list and say, "Okay, work on this person's project." I put things on my calendar. So I block out in increments. Usually if I'm working on a project, I'll usually block out 30 minutes for a project. If I'm doing a meeting, I'll usually block out an hour, maybe 50 minutes, 50 minutes, because that gives me time to get to the next appointment, which is important. And so I use my calendar for everything. And I believe almost always in almost every conversation, there's a next step. So after our recording today, there's the time that it's going to air. And then after the time that it airs, I'm going to be able to post it on social media and so on. So the key is being organized to be able to list things out. And if there's a step that needs to be taken, I try not to be reactive and have to deal with it in that moment. I believe in doing routine things routinely to be able to take that time to prioritize it, block out the time so I can make sure that when I do the social media post, it's going to be a really good post. It's going to be something that gives the right amount of respect for the show. So, and the same goes for meetings. If I told somebody I'm going to do something, I'm going to block out the time so I actually can do it rather than, again, just trying to squeeze in 5 minutes between meetings to do that follow up. If I promise somebody an introduction, I'm going to make that introduction. So you're right. So busy people only get busier, but busy people also know how to squeeze more in to be able to accomplish more. That's why you see entrepreneurs often being serial entrepreneurs, people that are able to open multiple businesses because they know how it's done. They have a method, they have a system to what they do.
Here's what happened recently. Okay, so before I was not able to do many things get done, and I'm not taking many work. And recently, I thought I just decided, okay, I need to make this amount of money. Like I just 5x that, and then start taking works. I start setting deadline, and all the things are getting done. And before, I was having struggle to get 1/5 of work done just because I didn't have deadline.
Yeah, I've certainly seen that before. And again, everybody has a different system, a different process. Some people use certain apps. Some people use, again, the calendar. Some people use the lists and so on. There's so many great tools. But remember that again, technology is our friend. Technology, it's tools. It's not a replacement for what we're doing right now. It's not a replacement for real connection. That's where the money is made. That's where the connections are formed. That's where the opportunities develop. It's absolutely, again, from these connections, but take advantage. I mean, man, we're living in 2025 where we've got AI and apps and tools and technology that's available to make our lives easier and streamline processes. But always remember, it's just a tool.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so looking back when you started, what's one lesson you will tell yourself if you have to start doing podcasting or community building again?
Be patient. Be patient that nothing happens overnight. Often I am the one that's thinking of opportunities that are presented. And I think that if I don't do it right now, then it's not going to be available in the future. Now I look back, I've been doing this for a little while. I started in 2009 in the world of networking and entrepreneurship. And now we're a bunch of years later, 15, 16 years later, and I'm still going at it. And the opportunities are endless. And I've been consistent in what I've been doing, building relationships, staying in touch with people, and real relationships are formed over time. I mean, some of the people that I got to know years ago are my closest friends now and are my mentors and colleagues. So being patient is, I think, that the number one lesson that I wish I had learned a while ago. And don't try to predict everything that's going to happen. Be open minded to opportunities as they come up. Often, again, as I mentioned, I love to use my calendar. Sometimes if I'm so rigid about my calendar, you could end up missing out on the biggest opportunities that are right at your doorstep. So I'd say be flexible and be patient.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so is there anything else that you would like to share?
I think I guess maybe this is the other lesson that I've learned is finding balance in life. So I've prioritized physical fitness. I'm running, and that helps actually the resilience and the mental fitness as well. Uh, and so I just encourage everybody, find your why and find your balance in your life. Realize that if you just go pedal to the metal, you're just focused on business, you might burn yourself out and you might not have the physical stamina to be successful. So I just encourage everybody, know your why of why you're doing what you're doing each and every day, why you're working so hard. And I know that so many of your listeners are indeed working hard in their challenges each and every day. And never stop connecting, never stop connecting, never stop learning from everybody that you come across. And I welcome the opportunity to learn from your listeners. I'm on Get Down to Business. I'm very easy to find on LinkedIn, on lots of shows and all sorts of things. And if somebody drops me a message, I will always respond. I promise.
Okay, so by connecting, they, where are you more active? Like LinkedIn or yeah?
Honestly, everywhere. So my website is syklein.com, syklein.com. That's my website. It's got all my methods to get in touch with me. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I do post a lot, but certainly if somebody goes on your favorite podcast app, just search for Get Down to Business. I'd ask that you subscribe, rate, review, share all those good things to make it easier. I promise. I mean, I post each and every week. We have at least 3 to 4 guests every single week, and we have some amazing people, and you will learn something. And the common denominator between all of our guests is everybody's willing to connect as well. Everybody shares their LinkedIn, everybody shares their contact details to make it easy, which is pretty awesome.
Yep, it is also. So it was really great chatting with you, Scott.
Likewise, my friend. I appreciate you, Atul. Thank you for making me look a lot better. Well, we're geniuses together. I'll go with it.
Yeah, and thank you so much for your time.
Take care.
Yep,
Thank you.
you too.